What's up, Kid Too Technical? I'm back again with another video today. I just wanted to get on here and talk about the Samsung Galaxy Zfold4. I have had this device for a while. You know, Samsung being a Samsung Team Galaxy creator, and I've been using this device on a day-to-day basis. Usually when I come home from work, I'm on this device. I'm gonna say this, I do enjoy using the Zfold4, I really do, but this is a nice looking device, you know, because it folds and then it opens and you have your tablet. But it's really hard for me to figure out the need of the Zfold4. It really is. Even though the battery life on the Zfold4 to me seems a lot better than on my Zfold3, because I own the Zfold. I purchased this with my own money. This was, like I said, was courtesy of Samsung, and this will have to go back, but I'm a little confused here, you know. This is a nice device, but the Zfold3 was also, and still is, a nice device. I'm gonna bring the Zfold3 in just because these are basically the same device. Some things about my Zfold4 that I really like and enjoy over my Zfold3 is I enjoy, like I said, the battery life. I don't know why. It could just be because this has that newer chip in there, the newer chipset in there. The battery life on the Zfold4 just seems to last a lot longer than on my Zfold3, and I can tell you that because, like I said, I do have both of the devices sitting right here in front of me. Everything that I have on my, all the apps that I have on my Zfold3, I also have them also on my Zfold4. So I can't say that I don't use this the way I use this, because I use them both the exact same, you know. So here gets pushed with YouTube videos, Twitter, Facebook. This also gets pushed with YouTube videos, Twitter, and Facebook. The thing about this is, I didn't think I would like the form factor of this, because, as you know, this is a tad bit, it's just a tad bit smaller than your Zfold3. This is longer, you know, this is a tad bit smaller. It's a difference to me because I have both of the devices. Now, if you just had the Zfold4 and never had a Zfold3, you'll never know what it feels like. So when I'm watching content on my Zfold4, I feel like I'm getting shorted out of some video space than when I'm watching content on my Zfold3. That's just how I feel, because this is a lot taller than your Zfold4, as you can see. With it being open, some people can't tell, but like I said, I've had these devices and I've been using them. This is a little smaller, shorter. This is a lot taller, but it's still the exact same dimensions. That's just the exact same with the outer display. This outer display has the exact same dimensions and the exact same screen size, 6.2 inches. This is longer, this is more shorter, and this here is just a tad bit better to text on, just a tad bit better. It's not that much better, but it's a tad bit better because the form factor of it, you know. But like I said, this is still the exact same screen size that's on your Zfold3. It's just this is a lot taller and narrower. This is shorter and more compact. But to me, this is more lighter than my Zfold3. This is more pocketable than my Zfold3. I'm gonna put my Zfold3 away for now. More lighter, more pocketable. This does fit in your hand a little bit better than your Zfold3. If you hold in your Zfold3, you might feel like it's a little big because it's taller. But overall, my experience with the Zfold4 has been nice. It really has been. But like I said, it's just been hard for me to pick what device I would want to have. You know, I know I have the Zfold3, but if you're out there and you have the Zfold3 and you're wanting to try out the Z Fold4, that is where I am a little confused about, you know, because these are both foldable devices. Like I said, to me, I feel like there was not a need to come out with a Z Fold4. I feel like that. I just feel like there was not a need. I feel like this Z Fold4 should have been what the Z Fold3 was. When they came out with the Z Fold3, this form factor, the chipset, the better battery life because of the chipset, that should have been, this should have been called the Z Fold3, and then, you know, this should have been called the Z Fold3, and then I felt like they should have skipped the Z Fold4 and came and then did the Z Fold5. But you know, with it being Samsung, they want to get the phones out as fast as they can. But that's where there's sometimes a problem, because they're pushing these devices out so fast, they're not really getting enough time to focus on some of the software, some of the hardware, the style of the device. Because like I said, it's like they came out with the Z Fold3 twice, but this is just a little bit more refined, like the things that should have been fixed on the Z Fold3, they kind of fixed it on the Z Fold4. That's what I'm saying. This should have been the Z Fold3. And this, you know, this here should have never been even, you know, brought out, because you get better camera setup on your Z Fold4. Like I said, the battery life just seems to be a lot better because of the newer chipset, and I'm sure it is, because this thing drains like crazy for me. This thing doesn't. This thing here, the Z Fold4, I leave it on always on display, and I'm only at 55% right now. This, I can really never leave it on always on display, because it just eats up my battery even faster than me just using it. So pretty much this is just me. This is just a little confusion, you know. This is my confusion and my frustrations of both of these devices, you know. Now, if you were out there and you just picked up a Z Fold3 and you don't want to get the Z Fold4, that's fine. But like, the Z Fold3's battery life is not that good. I don't care how much you cut things off, how much you don't use it. For this to be a folding device, it needed better battery life. And to me, I feel like they did it with the Z Fold4, but only because it has the newer chipset, and the newer chipset is running a lot better with the processor of the Z Fold4. I just feel like this should have been the Z Fold3. This right here should have been the Z Fold3, and then the Z Fold4 should have been a lot better from this device, instead of this being the 4 to the 3, because really there's not really a big difference from the 4 to the 3, except for a newer chipset. They made it a little shorter. Really, if you really think about that, that's just really small upgrades, because you didn't get a slot for your S Pen. So that's not, you know, that wasn't good. People actually wanted a slot for the S Pen. People actually wanted a wider and bigger display. Did they get that? No, they just got a shortened front screen display, and then a shortened inner screen display. When the display on the Z Fold3 on the inside was already fine, they should have just left this the way it was. They should have just left this screen as tall as it was on here. But I do understand they had to do that because this is shorter, so they had to shorten it down some. So if I were you out there, there would be no need to have a Z Fold4 and a Z Fold3, because it really doesn't make any sense to have both of these devices, you know. It really doesn't make sense to have both of these devices, because basically in a nutshell, they are the exact same device, except this one is just more refined than this one, but they still do what I need them to do, except for this lacks in battery life, you know. So if you want something with little better battery life, you can do the Z Fold 4. But if you don't care and you just want a folding device, you can do the Z Fold 3, because you're really still not missing out. This is shorter, this is longer, this is more easy to put in your pocket to carry around. Basically, if you were out and about, if you would hold these up, it would, you know, turn them over. Unless you had these side by side, you wouldn't know that this was a Z Fold 3 and this was the 4. The camera setup is the exact same. The only difference is these cameras on the 4 are a lot bigger than the ones on the 3 because they're a tad bit better. But other than that, just if you've never had a Z Fold 4, you wouldn't know about the camera size. And if you had a Z Fold 4 and never had a Z Fold 3, you wouldn't know about the camera size either. But like I said, this is like they made the exact same device twice. That is how that feels to me. But which one would I prefer over the other? I'd have to go with the Z Fold 4, only because I do like the smaller form factor of it on the outside, not on the inside. But I do like the smaller form factor of it, and I didn't think I would. You know, I do pick up my Z Fold 4 more than I do my Z Fold 3, but that still would, this would not make me go trade in my Z Fold 3 for a 4. It really wouldn't, unless I just wanted one of those newer colors, you know. And especially since I carry a lot of other two devices on every day, I'm able to leave this at home when I need it to be at home and use another device if I need to, you know. So this was just me letting you know how I felt about the Z Fold 4. I guess you want to say I had it for 4 or 3 months. Really not sure, but I've had it for a while. I have been using it, you know, ever since I've had it in my hands and in my, you know, life. But the Z Fold 4 was just a confusing upgrade for a confusing upgrade overall, because the Z Fold 3 still exists and now you have the 4. You know, I hope Samsung can come out and do something a lot better when they come out with the Z Fold 5, you know, because I wasn't even looking at buying the Z Fold 4 at all. Like, it wasn't on my radar at all, because I'm like, that was not enough things for me to upgrade to the Z Fold 4. You know, I was holding on to my Z Fold 3, so when the 5 come out, hopefully, fingers crossed, when the Z Fold 5 comes out, there'll be a lot more things that changed, I hope. If not, we'll see. If not, I'll just trade it in for a 4 and just rock out with the 4. But let me know in the comment section below if you feel how I feel. I'm just, like I said, I'm just a little confused with the need to come out with a Z Fold 4 and this form factor. Like I said, I just feel like this should have been the Z Fold 3 instead of the 4. But just rate, comment, and subscribe to this YouTube tech channel, and I'll catch you in the next video. I'm out.